Fire me up.
You got it. You got it. All right. So, okay. So here we go. Swoop my hair over.
Yep, get the hair right.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Thank you, everybody. Guess what time it is? Woo woo! It is Set Real Talk Tuesday. And I don't know if you guys are ready for who we're interviewing tonight. Like when I say boss chick, boss babe, hashtag winning, whatever hashtag you can think of, this is the woman that you want to be following and getting to know because her life story, and she only 32. That's it. But her life is just lit. That's the only like expression that I have for it. So I want you guys to just really tune in and get ready for this. So everybody right now, I want you guys to, if you could type in the comments, lit, so I know you guys are ready. So we're gonna give people an opportunity right now to type that in. And while they're doing that, let me introduce you guys to who I have with me tonight. I have none other than Monica Abbott, and we're gonna talk about who she is. How you doing tonight?
Hello, hello, hello.
You doing good?
I'm doing good. So happy to be here and I don't know, talk to y'all about, I guess, my story and everything that's happened, my path in life. But so happy to be here and have a good night with y'all.
Yay! So I hope you guys are typing lit, because get ready, it's about to be lit tonight. So some of you may not be familiar with who this amazing lady is, Miss Monica Abbott. So, I'm not gonna mess it up because homegirl has just been killing it in her particular field. And she's about to inspire all of you tonight. So Monica Abbott is like the softball woman who is just killing the game right now. She was actually in the Beijing Olympics in 2008, took home the silver medal. Currently, right now, one of the top softball women players that are out there. And before that, she was just leading the career when it comes to it. And so many of you tonight, I feel like sometimes softball is that sport that doesn't get all the attention as maybe, the WNBA and things like that. So we want to make sure tonight you understand how many boss women there are who are softball players, who are dominating in that field and doing great things. And that's what Monica Abbott is doing. Honey, she has gone to the Olympics. She has signed major, we'll talk about that, $1 million deal contracts. That's how good she is in her field. So I want you to tell everybody, hopefully everybody lit. Are we ready? Is everybody ready? All right. I think we're good. I think they're ready. So I want you to tell everybody, how did you even get this interest in softball as opposed to any other sport?
Well, I started playing because my mom just signed up. I had an older sister, and my older sister played, and my older sister wanted to play. And then my mom just signed both of us up. And I kind of was just like hanging around her, not really that interested. And then someone gave me an opportunity. Someone kind of like sparked my interest and said, Monica, why don't you try pitching? As when I was a kid, I was like maybe 14 years old, and they gave me an opportunity. Why don't you try it? And I kind of didn't think anything of it. Let it blow off my shoulders and everything. And then about 3 weeks later, I was like, all right, Mom, you know what? Maybe I'll just try it. Let me just give it a chance. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not me? Why not just try and see if I like it? And I kind of had to work to get like some coaching and some lessons to learn how to pitch. And I ended up falling in love with it. I played a lot of other sports. I did volleyball and swimming. I was really, really into basketball, but
yeah, because you're kind of tall. So, they automatically say, oh, you're tall, you need to be playing basketball.
Yeah, I was really, really into basketball. And even still, like through high school and post, I had opportunities to play basketball in college, but I always knew softball was my passion and my dream moving forward. And I set some goals early on and to play college softball, and I set a goal to go to the Olympics. And thankfully, I was able to accomplish some of those.
Did you guys just hear that? Like, this is Set Real Talk Tuesday. And I love how, like, Monica right now, she was just very nonchalant about this confidence that you had in you. You just said, I just set this goal to go to the Olympics. And I think a lot of times, especially as women, we can get so insecure. So for you, what gave you that confidence to feel like, you know what? I can go to the Olympics. It doesn't have to be someone else. I can be that person to go.
I think, you know, in some ways I was kind of like, this is going to sound kind of funny, but I was almost like, I didn't know any better. Like, I was almost like what I didn't know helped me. I didn't know that there was like, it would be hard to go to the Olympics. Like, I didn't know, like, you know, my dumbness in that fact of it as a younger athlete helped me, because I was just like, why can't I? Like, why can't I be the one? You know, and I set this goal over there, and then I set some like little mini goals on like how I can achieve it. And I just followed it. I set a plan out. I set a game plan. I set a process. And those process goals, I think looking back now, if I hadn't set those, maybe I wouldn't have achieved it. But I set a process of like, hey, I'm going to make a really great rides ball, or I don't want to throw just 65 miles an hour. I want to throw 70 miles an hour. How can I get to 70? If I can get to 70, then maybe I'll make an Olympic team. And so it was like this big goal of, hey, set this Olympic team goal, but how am I going to get there? And those process goals, I think, ultimately really helped me achieve
Girl, you're like my best friend already. I just love it, because what I do for a living, I'm a success coach. And so what we do is we really help men and women come up with, like you're saying, basically like SMART goals, like coming up with these specific, measurable goals to help you get to that big goal. And that's exactly like what you were doing. You're like, I want to go to the Olympics, but in order to do that, I got to get to this goal. And then after that, obtain that next goal. And then that gets me to the Olympics.
Right, exactly. And ultimately it'll get me to my main big thing that I really wanted. And your big dream, and it'll give you that process and that plan and something to work for, little things to work for. Because sometimes when you look at, a big goal, like I want to go to the Olympics, I want to make $1 million. It seems so far away. Like, how are you going to get there? So having those little steps in between really, really makes a difference.
See, that's real, because that's true, because you get discouraged along the way. And how many of you tonight can relate to that? Like, I know people on this feed tonight, you have certain goals that you're going towards, and when you don't see it right away, it's frustrating. It can get discouraging. And so it's important to have those small goals along the way where you can celebrate yourself. Like, I did it, yay, even if it's small.
Exactly. So, I think celebrating those little goals is so important, because it gives you, it reinvigorates you. It lifts you back up to pursue that big goal when it, it still may be far away, but it, gives you that little sense of happiness that you're almost there.
Yes. Like, whoo, we can do this. We got this.
You're past step one.
Yes. So because it's Set Real Talk Tuesday, I really want to be real. I know even in my experience, when I stepped out and started my own business, sometimes you deal with people who are looking at you like, you're crazy. This is such a huge, lofty goal. Are you sure you can do that? Maybe you want to do something else, or is that too, people ever looked at you like that's too big of a goal? Did you ever have, people like that in your life?
Yeah, I think there's always those people that, whether they say it or not, they kind of have that negative vibe, that negative connotation where you don't feel like they're really there to lift you up. They're not really on the same page as you. And you have those people, and it's not fun, but for as many people that kind of are the naysayers, the people that don't necessarily 100% believe in you, you got to stick to the people that do believe in you and in your inner circle that are on the same page as you and are willing to uplift you to reach those dreams and goals that you have.
Yes.
Put all those naysayers on the outside, have little circles on the inside of those people. I call it the inner circle. My inner circle is a select few people that I know will support me no matter how crazy my ideas may sound,
Yes. So all of you tonight, hopefully you have your inner circle, that success circle that you can count on, that will celebrate those successes and those milestones with you along the way. So let us know tonight, do you have inner circle that you can count on to help you achieve each milestone that you face? So that's see, girl, you're giving a lot of good nuggets tonight, a lot. Yes, that is so key. And so I want to go back to softball.
Okay.
So in that world of playing softball, one of the things that you said was that you said, you know what? Why not? Why not me? Why not try it? And I love that attitude that you have. I think so many people miss out on big opportunities because they don't just take a risk. Just try. Why not try? What's the big deal? So what helped you have that mindset? Like, was it a certain family member or a mentor or a coach that helped you think like that? What was it?
Well, I think there's a couple things. I think early in my career, it was just like, why not me? You know, why can't I be as good as my older sister? Why can't my mom, you know, why can't you go to college and play softball? Why can't you be the next, you know, whoever, Lisa Fernandez or Jenny? Why can't you be the next Jenny Finch or the next Lisa Leslie? Why can't you be that? Why can't you be that athlete? Why not you? Because they started somewhere. They started like you at one point, right? But I think later in my career, it was more so softball, like we know, isn't as big of a sport as, say, MLB or as big as some of these male sports are.
Okay.
And I just thought, you know, why can't I be the person to take us to the next level? You know, someone has to start. And we can all sit here in a circle and say, like, hey, like, you're not getting paid enough, or there's this wage gap, or women aren't treated as fairly as men. But who's going to be out there and actually say it? Because until one person says something and the other people start to speak out too, like, we'll all stay the same. So I think it's important for someone to take a risk and to take a chance, and that helps everyone else grow.
I love it. So it seemed like that was something that was just in you. Like, that's just your personality, being that risk taker and just saying, why not me? Why not?
Yeah, I wanted to make a difference. You know, I wanted to make a difference in, obviously, in my sport, in my family's life, in my own life. And I wanted to make a difference for the future generations of female athletes, that whether they play softball or soccer or basketball or volleyball, whatever it is, you know, I want them to have it better off than I have it.
I love it. I love it. So now let's kind of switch gears a little bit. And, you know, you're an amazing athlete, period. Forget whether male or female, you're a great athlete, period. But with that, I know being a woman or a man, just that whole work-life balance can be hard when you have such a demanding career. And being an athlete has become your career. So how do you balance, like, time for yourself, for your love life, to hang out, relationships, and still make sure you're focused on your craft, which is softball?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of the hardest balances. I think the work personal life balance is one of the hardest things, because a lot of times if you're not in like a 9 to 5, your work follows you. Like, if you are an independent, you work from home, you're a professional athlete, you do consulting or life coaching, like, your work follows you everywhere you go. So sometimes it really is hard to separate. But I've really learned to take like little breaks throughout the day that have helped. And also, just honestly, now I really take advantage of technology. I think being able to do FaceTime and videoing and calling people can really, you know, calling your inner circle throughout the day can really rejuvenate you when you're going through a hard workout, or when, you know, it feels like you've been on the road for 10 days and you're ready to go home. So having that inner circle that you can count on really makes a difference for me.
That's true. So do you have anybody special in your life right now?
I do. I have someone special in my life, and we are trying our best to make it work. He's doing a great job, I gotta say. I don't know how he deals with me, but he's doing a good job.
Well, that's how you know you got a good man by your side, if you can say that. You can say, I don't know how he deals with me, because I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary with my husband.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I still feel like that. I'm like, I don't know how he put up with me. Especially now, like you said, my work follows me now, being an entrepreneur. There's no off button, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's so patient. So that's so great that you have that. So tell all the ladies, listen up now, because you're talking to a boss lady, athlete, Olympic medalist. Tell us, what are some tips, some advice for finding love or setting boundaries, you know, to make sure that you can be in the right space to find someone? Like, what are some tips that you can give women?
Okay. My first tip would be, if you're like, make sure, number one is like, I think make sure that you're ready. Because I think it's a lot of women we get stuck in like, we want to have someone, but make sure that you're ready on the inside and on the outside to be able to share life with someone if that's what you're looking for. Because I don't think until you can be comfortable in your own skin that you can't really be comfortable with another person.
Tell them, Monica. Ooh.
So that's number one. And then number two, when you're trying to find someone, take advantage of your network, because I think, you know, degrees of separation, a lot of people know other people that, you know, might work for you.
Ooh, ladies who are on tonight, that's a good one. Because sometimes women, we can think, I don't see that person. And honestly, right in your network, there could be someone who could connect you with someone, or it's not that far away as you think it is.
Yeah. And the last one is, I would say, just like be open. I think sometimes we have this ideal image of someone that we want, or all these different, you know, our list of A, B, C, D. Like, I want him, you know, and not saying that you should compromise on your standards or values, but definitely be open and date a lot, have fun, yes. Get out there, and, you know, and so then you can know, like, okay, I can be flexible on A, but I can't be flexible on B, you know, and so
I call those have your non-negotiables.
Yeah, have your non-negotiables, exactly. Yes. Have your non-negotiables, but
I like what you said about being open. So with the person that you're with now, was there something that you thought, I'd never be with this person, like a person like this, but then you realize this is actually kind of cool? Was there anything in him that was a little different than what you thought you might end up with?
Yeah, so he's a coach at a school, and he's a coach, and I was kind of like against dating like coaches. I was just like, no, like, this is not happening.
Yeah.
So then I kind of like ended up, okay, well, we'll just try it. I'll try this one time. And so far it's been good. We'll see if it keeps that way, but so far it's been a good thing.
I love it. So I want to get back to the woman empowerment piece. What's some advice that you could give women who are wanting to enter into sports professionally, and maybe they think they could be discouraged or not quite sure how to navigate those waters? What's some tips that you can give specifically for women who want to get into sports professionally?
I would say, like, seek out your opportunities. You know, don't be afraid to start lower on the rung a little bit and work your way up. I think one thing in female athletics, because we're such a growing field in all areas, you know, from the sports management side to the actual playing side, you know, there's a lot of opportunities there, but it's not always easy to do. So stick it out and like play the long game. Don't be so short-sighted and only play, you know, you got to see the big picture and stay in there, you know, for the full 7 innings, so to speak, instead of like the first or second inning. But yeah, play the long game, see the big picture I think would be huge. Don't be afraid to start small and work your way up to bigger opportunities.
I love it. And I wanted to also tell everyone tonight, so what's next for Monica Abbott? What are your next ventures when it comes to softball or entrepreneurship? What do you have on the horizon?
Okay, well, I'm playing for the Scrapyard Dogs. We're based out of Houston. Our National Pro Fast Pitch Championships are coming up next week in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Awesome.
And then actually, I teamed up with Ringer. They do cleats, and we're coming out with a Monica Abbott cleat, like a Monica Abbott shoe, and it's going to be a limited edition. It's kind of cool. They're, you know how you know, Jordan or Curry, like Steph Curry, like comes out and he has, you know, they make 300 pairs of shoes of this Steph Curry 2016 version. So they're going to kind of take that same model and try it in the softball world, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Did you guys hear that, fellas, ladies? Like, how amazing is that? And that's what I want you guys to see. It's not just men who can dominate when it comes to sports. It's women as well. And did you hear this partnership that she's having with Ringer, which Monica, you about to have your own shoe.
I know, right? Isn't that so cool?
How do people get to see
and hold on, I get to help design it, so I get to help add like some fashion pieces in there too. So
I love it.
Definitely adds it all in full circle. So I'm hoping it's going to be really successful. So then I can have the Monica Abbott 2017, the 2018.
Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
You see, I love it, and hopefully anybody, male or female, if you're on here tonight, there's no limits to what you can do.
Yeah,
there's no limits. I mean, you started out, playing softball just as a kid, and it went from now to the Olympics, and then now playing for national associations, and now about to have your own shoe. Just the first one. I'm already putting that out there. That's just the first of many.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, all of you on here tonight, just understand there is literally no limit. So hopefully if any of you have any questions that you're typing them in there, and we try to get to as many as we can tonight for Monica Abbott. I absolutely love it. So I want to know, who do you look up to? It could be someone in sports and maybe someone who's not even in the sports industry. Who do you look up to for inspiration?
Okay. Well, obviously my family has been huge for me, but I went to the University of Tennessee, so a big role model for me was Pat Summitt. She was huge. I also really look up to
tell people about Pat Summitt if they don't know who that is.
Okay, Pat Summitt is the women's basketball coach. She actually passed away this past year, 2 years ago now. And she was just one of the first major women's basketball coaches on the college level. She's won like back-to-back national championships. She's the winningest coach besides the UConn coach. So there's a huge Tennessee UConn rivalry in women's basketball. She put women's basketball on the big stage. So when you're watching the Final Four and the Sweet 16 in NCAA, she helped start that whole thing. And then I kind of mentioned her earlier. Like I said, I played basketball earlier, but I was a really big fan of Lisa Leslie. And then I also, on the baseball side, Randy Johnson, which was actually a male athlete, but he was a pitcher and he was a fireballer. He threw really hard. It's kind of who I modeled my softball pitching after, because I also am a fireballer, so I throw the ball hard. Except for underhand, not overhand.
I love it. She's like, no, I got a specific way. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So what about them in their character also that inspired you? What was it about them that stood out from other people?
Well, I think athletically, of course, they're all very good. But I think with, like, say, Randy Johnson, he's really tall. He's a pitcher. I felt the same way about Lisa Leslie. And for her being a woman, like, seeing a tall female athlete was huge for me as a young woman. Like, I'm 6'3". Like, I stand on 2 feet, like 6'3". So I was always taller than everyone else. But seeing someone else that could manage, what I loved about her is she could manage both that athleticism, but she could also manage the beauty. Like, she's so fashionable and she's super gorgeous, and she melded those two so well. And I love that she had that female athleticism where she could compete with anyone, and she had a humor about it. She had a humor about being so tall, but she also was beautiful in her own way as well. So I loved that about her. Pat Summitt, I think she just did such a good job character-wise, developing people in leadership. The way she was able to bring out the best in people through athletics and through coaching and through challenges. Like, she would challenge you, challenge your athletic ability, challenge your heart and your mind and your spirit. And while she challenged you, she then created you to be more of a leader for your team. And I loved how she brought that out in people, and no matter how good of an athlete you are, she always made sure that you were